Let the joyous news be spread. The wicked old witch at last.
The man is dead. He's dead.
What the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. This is Indie Vote, and that was how many copyright strikes can we get in 10 seconds? I bet
we don't get any. I bet
we're going to get a bunch of them. Hello, it is Tuesday night, so it must be time for Indie Vote. Wilder's got a shot of adrenaline out of nowhere, which is odd because I don't have any caffeine. Must be this show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Varian Grant. I am the founder of Indie Vote Media, LLC. Started making comics way back in 2008. So I know a little bit what I'm talking about, just a little. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, artist, a writer, occasional actor, a very reluctant taxpayer who just I'm getting more and more reluctant as the days tick on. Also, my vote is for sale, and that's it. Yeah. As always, joined by the lovely Lola, the indie princess. Hello.
Hey guys.
And she's got her. Is it Lola or Lilu tonight?
I don't know.
Lola the Lilu?
It's the indie princess.
Yeah.
I'm a princess.
I just want to know where her multi-pass is. So she's where's Bruce Willis? And of course, Mr. Zimmerman, how are you today, sir?
I am good, thank you. Hey, everybody. We need to run this first, though. As soon as I find it, here we go. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Indie Vote Media LLC and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised. So, hey, everybody. Andrew, every time he says that he started comics way back in 2008, I always laugh.
Yeah.
I laugh on the inside and I go, 2008.
You and I have been doing comics since the 80s, so, you know.
I can smell the newsprint.
Yes, exactly. Smell that news.
Oh, asbestos in
Asbestos.
It's everywhere.
Hey, everybody, I'm Randy Zimmerman. I do the Zim Geek channel on YouTube. I'm also part of the Indie Volt podcast network. I'm a commercial and graphic artist who's been around and in comics for a long time. I've done about everything that you can do in this industry. And right now, my specialty is sequential art for commercial and advertising purposes. And like I said, I'm part of the Indie Volt podcast. And today we're joined right off the bat by Mr. Andrew Peepboy.
Hey there.
Introduce yourself, Andrew.
Well, I'm Andrew Peepboy, and as Randy and I were just saying, we've been doing comics since the 80s. I've been making comics since way back when I was running around with spiky 3-colored hair and blue lipstick. And it was a fun time. But here we are many years later, and you may know me best these days for working on Fables for a long time, and The Simpsons, and Sonic the Hedgehog, and Scooby-Doo, and the X-Men, and all sorts of other fun comics over the years. And probably best known as an inker, but also, as an artist on lots of covers lately. Lots of covers for like Archie, for Afterlife with Archie, and did a bunch of Red Sonja covers. And I also drew the Little Orphan Annie newspaper strip. So all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And these days, I'm running my first Kickstarter.
And I'm calling that up right now as we speak.
Yeah.
So that folks can see that.
So, I can hold this up to the screen. There we go. That is The Adventures of Simone and Ajax. That was their last appearance 10 years ago. And now I've brought them back. And if Randy wants me to, I will ramble on for a few minutes about it. Is that what you want to do, Randy?
I think so. Varian, is that all right?
That's fine.
So,
there we go.
There you go. Randy has brought up the screen.
On Kickstarter, you have 311 backers so far. It's only 7 days to go.
I know. We're down to our last week. It's the countdown to the end, and it's been quite the marathon. But I'm ready to keep pushing to try to get us further stretch goals and things like that. We just met our 5th stretch goal at 23,000. So now everybody gets a 4th and 5th full color Simone and Ajax print along with their book if they're a physical backer. But The Adventures of Simone and Ajax, the wacky tales of a 20-something girl and her best pal, not pet, little green dinosaur named Ajax, Why a little green dinosaur? Why not? That's sort of the attitude in a lot of the Simone and Ajax stories is why not? You know, should they go to ancient Atlantis and find out how it got sunk? Why not? Should they go to the Old West and have an adventure there? Why not? You know, go to Transylvania, meet up with some vampires like they do in this book? Yep, why not? And should they hang out with a bunch of little talking lemmings that are shown on the screen now? Again, why not? It's a rather silly comic, but I'm having a great time doing it, and I think the world could sure use some more silliness right now. And you know, I'm hoping people will check it out. It's going to be a 128-page book with over 100 pages of brand new comics, telling a pirate adventure, a Western adventure, a Transylvanian kind of spooky adventure, and a Ajax private eye story. So yeah, I'm hoping people check out the campaign page on Kickstarter. You can just search Simone and Ajax, or search me, Andrew Peepoy, or you can go to my website, peepoy.com, or their website, simoneandajax.com, Simone with an E, and ajax.com. And first thing you'll find is a link taking you to the Kickstarter site if you want to check it out. And we only have 7 days to go. You can get the book, which is now a hardcover, thanks to the backers. You know, we hit that stretch goal. And you can get art rewards, and you could get lunch with me if you really wanted to. If you want to come to Wicker Park here in Chicago, you can have lunch with me. So yeah, all sorts of rewards. You can get a mystery box full of interesting things. You never know. You might get a spider pulp reprint. You might get an actual pulp. You could get some fun comics. I've got some Carl Barks, Donald Duck books sitting by here. I've got a nice Craig Yo Weird Love collection of goofy old romance comics. Old Spirit magazines. So all sorts of fun stuff you might find in that box. Maybe even a DVD. Let's hope you still have a DVD player if you get one of those. So basically, it's stuff that I love that I'm hoping, if you're a fan of Simone and Ajax, you're going to end up loving too.
Andrew, with Simone and Ajax, they're your characters. I have a question, and it's just really a question to see if I'm normal. But
we probably. Well, I mean, the answer I think to that is if we are all here loving comics, are we really normal?
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. I read this in a book. I read this in a book years ago. So I'm just gonna say this. It's like what's right for you is normal for you. So therefore, you are normal.
Yeah. I tend to, when I create a character, and I've got a lot of them in my head, but I got those special characters, those special ones that you always think about. And sometimes I'll run those characters through another character storyline, or wonder what it would be like if my character was involved in that particular comic that I was reading. And and because of that, I end up being influenced a little bit and maybe add this and that, to whatever story I'm developing at that point. But my question is, I guess, do you do that? And has Simone and Ajax ever is there any other world of comics you can see them fitting into rather than the one you created?
Well, I mean, they fit into any world because that's sort of what I do with them already, is I put them in any time or place I happen to put them. So yeah, if I were to team them up with some other characters, I'd find a way to make that work. I mean, the closest I've come to that is there have been a few times over the years where for some special, purpose, like say for the Baltimore Comic-Con, they do a book each year that spotlights some indie creation, and if you own your own other indie characters, you can team them up with that indie creation for that book. And sometimes it's not even indie creation. So yeah, so for like Baltimore, I've teamed them up with some of the Liberty Meadows characters by Frank Cho. They've met up with Sarah from Telos, Mike Waringo and Mike Waringo's Telos, and they've and one year they even had not an indie character, they had an Archie book. So I ended up having them team up with Archie for the little pinup. So that's fun to do. And actually one time, I'm still not even sure where this thing appeared, Rob Walton put some project together where he had me do a drawing of Simone and Ajax meeting up with Cerebus and Red Sophia. So I had Simone, who was wearing her own little Red Sonja knockoff outfit in a couple adventures in their early days, teaming up with them. And I'm probably going to, I've actually been in touch with one of Dave Sims' assistants about trying to run that in a collection next year that I'm going to do, collecting all the old early black and white stories. So I can see how they could fit in there. I don't usually plan their stories of how they might fit into something, but I, you know, what I do is I come up with a setting and try to figure out what would Simone and Ajax do in that setting. Like, you know, one of the stories I'm hoping to do when I do even more Simone and Ajax stories, because I'm hoping this, you know, that this Kickstarter is doing pretty well. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the first of many. You know, like I sit here and think, what would Simone and Ajax do if they had superpowers and costumes? So, you know, I just sort of find a genre. It's more like, instead of putting them together with certain characters, I try to think, what would they do in that genre?
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, Randy, you kind of do that a bit. You move Spank and shot from like, I guess, situation to situation.
Yeah, but I haven't done a Spank story in quite a while, so you know, there will be more stuff, but you know, it's not like the output that Andrew's doing.
Right. And then that's a lot of work, you know, being able to tonally shift a book like that and not miss a beat. Like, yes, of course, these characters can go have a adventure, you know, that was more based in horror than the other one, which was really comedic. So that's really cool. I think that sounded good writer.
You know, I mean, like with the horror stuff, I mean, you know, it's like there've been so many horror comedies, you know, over the years that you know, that was like an inspiration. You know, watching the old Abbott and Costello one, or watching, you know, Mel Brooks' Dead and loving it, or what was it? There was that Jim Carrey. I watched some Jim Carrey movie not long ago where he was a vampire. So it's like, you know, you can mix horror and comedy without a problem. You know, it's certainly been done, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I came up with you know, some interesting little gags for it to you know, hopefully some people get the what I'm making a reference to here and there. You know, you probably won't feel lost if you don't catch the reference, but I'm hoping some people will. And that story's got another reference. You know, I'm not going to give anything away, but you know, if that title for it, Monster Mia, makes you think of something else, what does that title Monster Mia make you think of?
I was gonna say Cher, but not Cher. But and it's also obviously, I think, Mamma Mia, the play, which I won't admit to having seen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, so you never know. There might be something having to do with some, you know, obscure little Swedish band we've all never heard of, right?
Sure.
I don't listen to that. I've never listened to that alphabetically named group ever.
I do.
From the chat, Joe Cotton says, "Hi guys," or "Hi Krista." Jason Morris says, "Hey guys, good to see you, Andrew."
Jason. Hey Jason, good to see you.
Jason,
well,
thanks for
see your little name on the screen here.
Yeah. So glad to see your Kickstarter is a big success. Yeah, we all are. It's an awesome book.
Thanks. I'm hoping everybody will actually still agree with that once they read it. You know? So,
I'm sure.
I'm doing my best to make it fun. You know, I have my, you know, I don't have like an actual proper editor, but I've certainly run it past a lot of friends who are very, you know, whose opinions I respect. You know, run the stories past them to make sure it's like, you know, does this actually work? And you know, there's been a few jokes I've rewritten when it's like they've been like, yeah, it doesn't. So I'm hoping it all comes together.
And this is a project you've done yourself. I mean, all on your own, right? Colors and
no, the colors are actually by Jason Millay, who I've been working with as a color since the last Simone and Ajax series, which is, you know, started doing that one around 2007.
Gotcha.
I've known Jason for a long time, and you know, he's a great artist himself, and actually he really you know, is a very, very successful storyboard artist and has storyboarded some movies you've probably seen and TV shows that you've probably seen. So, but he loves comics, and so he makes the time in his busy schedule to color my comics for me, which I'm always very appreciative of because he does a great job.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, but I am, you know, I created the characters. I am writing, penciling, lettering on the boards by hand. I'm not doing digital lettering on this thing. I mean, once in a while there's something pasted in, like you see the Tremble and Tumbleweeds logo on this, you know, Western page here. You know, that is pasted in, and so is the, you know, the Simone and Ajax logo. But the other lettering is all put in there. Or like if you go back to that you know, horror cover, the cover for the 4th issue, scroll back down a second. If you know, you see all the little captions on the, you can't, I know it's a little tiny, but you can see all the little captions on the Monster Mia and, you know, Crime Caper and all that kind of stuff. I letter all that in by hand, you know, so.
Cool.
then ink it, which is what I'm best known for. I'm best known for inking tons and tons of comics for Marvel, DC, and everybody else over the last 30 years. So, but yeah, but this is as much as I like doing those comics, this is the one I have the most fun doing. So I'm really glad people are checking it out. And I don't know if any of the listeners have any. I saw something flash up there. Simone and Ajax is the bomb.
Yep, Ralph Griffith says Simone and Ajax is the bomb, yo.
Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that.
Joe D. McPhee says, as a fellow Chicagoan, I am obligated to back.
Well, you are not obligated, but I will greatly appreciate it if you do. So
Joe's a great guy. He does a book called Amazonia that's available right now on, I believe that's on Kickstarter too, or I could be wrong. I'm lucky to get the name right. But one of
did Joe betray the family? Did that you tell me, Randy?
Who what?
Joe betrayed the family and went to another crowdfunding platform. Is that what he did? Joe.
No. We're allowed to go wherever you want.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking around.
Yeah. But yeah,
Ralph says, hey, the work looks as awesome as I remembered. A gem.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm trying. Like I said, this is my favorite thing to do, so I'm really putting everything into it that I can. And yeah, Joe, if you want to, if you're wanting to check it out and back it, there it is on Kickstarter. The easy bit.ly link directly to the page is bit.ly/Simone and Ajax. Or you can just go to peepboy.com and click the Kickstarter link. So that'll get you there too. And we're down to 7 days. Thank you, Jason.
Only 7 days left. Jason Morris says, I've always enjoyed Simone and Ajax. Good, fun stories and cartooning. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is cartooning. I'm known for doing a lot of the superhero stuff with all the more realistic rendery detail, but I'm having a great time doing this. Dan DeCarlo's my number one influence. So if you like Betty and Veronica and that kind of stuff, the look of those, you'll see a lot of that in here. But I'm also inspired by guys like Roy Crane, who did Washed Up and Captain Easy, and Buzz Sawyer is one of my big influences. Russell Keaton. Well, if my camera was angled slightly different, you could see an original by him on the wall behind me. Artist who little did anybody know was actually the very first artist on Superman. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster went to him, their favorite cartoonist apparently at the time, who was doing a strip called Sky Roads back in the 30s. They went to him and asked him to draw this Superman strip. And I guess there's a really, really bad photostat that still exists of it that surfaced a few years back. Of like one of his pages, but yeah, he was actually the very first artist. But yeah, he did a strip called Flying Jenny that's a favorite of mine. And
nobody's ever collected that, or he did it and it was never published.
He did these sample things that were never published, and gotcha. like I said, all that survives is one really, really bad looking photostat. So there's it's really hard to actually see, but yeah, that's something that came out a few years back. And, but yeah, I'm also greatly inspired by Carl Barks, adventure stories and Uncle Scrooge or Tintin. It used to be back in the 90s, I would describe Simone and Ajax as Tankerel meets Tintin, because Simone's always charging out there, getting into the action, getting into the fray or whatever's going on. And, but it was usually, not quite as literally in your face as Tankerel would usually be. But
and nowadays, most of the kids would go, who with who?
Yeah, they would be like, Tinkerel? Tintin? Huh? It's too bad because they're both great. I mean, they're both classics. They're both great. I mean,
yeah.
One of my greatest regrets of my collecting years is at one point when I needed to raise some money, I sold my Jamie Hewlett Tinkerel page that I had, an original Tinkerel page, and
I know you still collect a lot of originals.
I've been priced out of the market on collecting a lot of originals. I mean, so I still buy stuff once in a while when I can find something I can afford.
Right.
Like I bought this year I bought 3 originals that, of course it's not been a year where I've been able to go to conventions and stumble across stuff either.
Sure.
But still, even if I was at conventions, I can't afford most of what I'd see there anyway. But yeah, I picked up a Fred Hembeck original that I'm thrilled to have. I mean, I loved Fred's stuff since I was a kid, and he was doing those little strips in the back of on the DC News page in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I loved his stuff, and then I missed out on a chance to get a commission that I wanted from him He's not doing. He's still doing some drawings, but he's not doing these more ornate commissions that he used to do. But stumbled across on Comic Art Fans a page that he had done, one of those Dateline, blob, blankety, who knows how you pronounce it, that he used to do for Comics Buyer's Guide.
Yeah.
And turns out it was somebody I knew who was selling it. So yeah, and it wasn't terribly expensive, and I was like, it's a great page with Hembeck doing all sorts of great characters that I love. It's like Captain America meeting Captain Canuck, and it's sort of like the better known character meeting its sort of lesser known sort of similar type character. So you got the Spectre meeting Nemesis, the old character from the ACG in the 60s, if you know that one, or it is Shield meeting the Thunder Agent. So a lot of great stuff. So I picked that up. Or there was an AC Comics cover about 20 years ago. AC did a Fighting Yank series, and there was a particular cover where it had Cave Girl on it as well with the Fighting Yank, and it always grabbed me. And I'd asked about buying it way back when, and nothing ever came of it then. But then it's like recently I approached Bill Black, and turns out, he had it, and I was able to buy that. So this, again, it's not, some people would be like, oh, I want the Marvel DC cover. It's like, no, I've loved that cover for 20 years. It may not be the most well-known cover in the world, but I buy art I like. I'm not necessarily going after, the name value doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot to me. It's like, do I like it?
Right. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Where did we leave off here? Rebel says, tell me the news.
The news I can give everybody is that there's, I'm not on camera. I'm not at the board. I am across the room, laid out. But once again, my health has become a concern. So I've been laid out. But the fears of my, not the fears, but the reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I'm still around and kicking. I'm not kicking though, actually. Yeah.
Even though someone touches you.
Yeah, somebody touches me, I get all the strength in the world. But yeah, I'm recuperating. But I think I want to thank everybody just for a minute here and thank everybody who reached out. And I know were worried about me. I know I don't post online for a few days. It's something must be wrong. And
people start asking around, what's going on?
Yeah.
Have you heard from Varian? Is he okay?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Always reach out to me.
Yeah, I'm not doing well, but I'm okay. So
you're doing. I thought Rebel was talking about this news.
Let the joyous news be spread. The wicked old witch at last is dead.
No,
second cover I of the evening. I'm just kidding.
That actually reminds me that one of the potential stories I've got for the future Simone Ajax is, of course, since the Oz stuff is public domain, possibly a Simone Ajax go to the land of Oz.
There we go.
I've thought about that one before.
That would be good. Very brave and skilled man. I'm not sure who JD's talking about that, but
it's you, Randy. He's talking about you.
Can't be me. JD, thanks a lot for listening in. We do appreciate you. He says hello, everyone. Also, Brandon says, "Yeah, that's great work. Hand lettered, inked by hand. What's that? Haha, great work."
Yeah, no, I still love working on paper. I can't, I just can't get that same line out of, anything digital that I can get with a good brush and some ink, or some of my old antique pen points. I mean, I'm sure I'll still use some modern pen points, but it's like, I'll go looking in antique shops or on eBay or something like that and finding these old, Esterbrook points and stuff. That, they're made out of good steel and all. And it's like, gives you this snappy line that you just can't get anymore.
I talked to another inker some time ago who told me he was buying a lot of his used nibs from eBay. Yeah, from over in Japan and whatnot. So you've been drawing for a while, and I know I asked this to Randy, and I forgot what Randy's position on it was, but I don't believe he was in favor of it. But
base. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It was that we had an artist that wrote in and said that they had been what they call racking, aka stealing their art supplies, and they said that's the way the old guys did it. And as an artist, paying for supplies is whack. And we all, we kind of made jokes of it and said, paying for supplies isn't whack. And going to jail is whack. But
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for. Yeah, I'm not gonna steal supplies. I'm gonna pay for my supplies. I want to support, especially the little indie art shops if I can still find them, or just the individual sellers who track down these obscure supplies that we want sometimes. I want them to make a living, and I want to support them. So I'm not gonna steal anything.
Yeah, I had an art store very close to me, and they closed just because of the they closed long before the pandemic, but they were a mom and pop art store that you wouldn't think was mom and pop the way they handled their business. I mean, everything was done to the highest quality, but I do miss that store, and you want to support them. I would go in there, even though I knew I could find it $5 cheaper down the street, I'd stop in there and get it because.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we
they
had an art supply store up in Evanston, just north of Chicago here, that I used to go to all the time. And it's like I wanted to support them, the independent shop, as opposed to going to some of the corporate shops down downtown Chicago if I could. Unfortunately, most of the mom and pop shops are all gone here, and we only have the corporate types or stuff. But at least I can still support some of the smaller sellers on eBay, or the ones who are reselling through Amazon. I mean, if I need. Like a lot of shops aren't even carrying some of the ink I want to buy these days, so I have to go look for it. Or I used to have to buy some of my brushes, from England because I couldn't get them here anymore.
Yeah, I remember back in the late '90s when I was printing you in Aero Anthology, and your constant search for Duo Shade board.
Oh well, it wasn't that hard to get the Duo Shade board. It was, once in a while they'd run out of it, and you had to wait till they printed some more of it. But yeah, I mean. There's something they certainly don't make anymore. Is Duo Shade board. I still have a whole stack of it upstairs in the back of my closet. I mean, the problem with that stuff, as I've discovered over the years, is that it all deteriorated. So all those old Simone and Ajax pages that I did for you and on the other black and white, stories back in the '90s, all that stuff's unusable. It's a mucky mess. The 25% tone has faded away to almost nothing. And the 50% tone has turned like sort of everything bled together and has turned sort of black. So it's unfortunate. I am lucky that right around the time I started doing I think probably about the time I was doing the Aero Spotlight, the one shot for you. I had right around that time discovered that the stuff was beginning to deteriorate already, even after just a few years, and. There was a copy shop just down the street from me when I was living in North Carolina at the time that had a stat quality copy machine. I mean, it was the best copy machine I've ever seen. And I made high quality copies of everything. And that is what I'm working from for this new black and white collection is these Xeroxes, because the original artwork is completely unusable, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I moved from North Carolina while I was working on the one shot for you. And so that one, I don't have quite as good of copies, but I have the best I could get at the time. And that's what I'm working from on there because, it's just sort of unfortunate. But that's, I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. But like I said, hoping about a year from now to have up on my plan about a year from now is to have up on Kickstarter the collection of all the old black and white stories that have never been collected.
That's going to be a great volume also. But in the meantime, we're talking to Andrew Peatboy and his Kickstarter campaign, Simone and Ajax, 128-page book about a 20-something girl and her friend, a green dinosaur.
Yeah.
Ajax.
Yeah. And as you can see, we now have a new incentive goal that I just announced this week. See, I mean, you usually you hear about these stretch goals, but I've come up with these things I'm calling incentive goals, which are limited time offers to try to get people to, get us to some little award that we're not going to get unless we do it in that limited time. So we had the first incentive goal, which was where I needed 25 new backers in 48 hours, and we got that. So 25 random physical backers up to that point are going to get an Ajax keychain. And then now we're on incentive goal number 3 here. And one of the popular reward levels is a commission level. I mean, there's no convention, so you can't get a commission from me at Baltimore Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con or something like that. So you can get the book and a commission, whatever character you want me to draw. And so I think at this point, out of the 50 that there's only 18 left. And if we sell out by the end of the campaign, Then I will put out a PDF collection of like sort of a selection of the commissions that were done for this, so everybody can see, what they helped make happen by doing, by backing this campaign and all this other art that was created, whether it was Simone and Ajax or not. I mean, you can sort of see in the, if you, it's a little small on your screen probably, but you can see there's pictures of Bloodstorm from Mutant X, which is a comic book I worked on for the entire run at Marvel, where you've got Veronica in the Julie Newmar cat suit, or you've got Angel and the Ape, which is one of my favorite comics of all time, and I've multiple times tried to convince DC to let me write and draw that one, and I did actually get them, and I did actually do it once. I wrote and drew an Angel and the Ape story for the 2009 DC Christmas special.
That's
and then there's Little Orphan Annie and Sandy, which I of course drew the newspaper strip for a little while there, and Cloak and Dagger. So you can see I'm up for whatever anybody would want me to draw. So I'm hoping people will come in and back those 18 remaining commissions, and at that point I'll give everyone a special reward.
cool.
I have a question,
Sure.
Andrew, and just so we're clear, because I've seen this happen before. Those commissions, can they be of an original character?
If you get me enough reference, yeah.
Okay. Now I want to make it clear, and just so we know, because I got an email about that today. We're going to discuss that, Randy. Someone getting a commission from an artist on the cheap of their original character, their OC. This person then turned around and got it inked, got it colored by a well-known colorist and inker, and is using it for their comic cover.
Oh,
So, guys, when you do that, it's always nice to ask the person who commissioned it.
that's a hardcore question of ethics right there, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll talk about that, but I just wanted to say it's always a good idea to let that artist know what your original plans are.
Right. It's just consideration. I would,
Yeah.
If someone was having me do it because they're going to print it, then I'd certainly like them to let me know. And I mean, in many cases, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's fine, but it certainly would be good to know that up front.
Yeah. So it's always letting artists know what you're planning on doing. I mean, making their services available for an affordable price, and then you turn around and find out that someone is taking advantage of that always sucks. So
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to have to take off pretty soon here, but
Before you go, I just want to point out Jason Moore's in the chat trying to make everybody jealous, saying I just picked up a Sheldon Mayer Sugar and Spike original. Very excited to get it in the mail. LOL.
yeah, I'd be excited to get one of those too. So I am glad you got such a great piece of art. I mean, we're so lucky that in many cases, great art by these guys, by so many of these guys is still affordable. So many these artists that we love is still affordable. And at least, I was lucky back in the 90s, things you could buy a Jack Kirby page affordably back in the 90s still. So
Yeah, way back when.
so I'm lucky enough to have a Jack Kirby as well. But these days I certainly couldn't. But yeah, we're lucky that it's like, yeah, right now I could still afford a lot of beautiful art, and Jason was able to get a Sheldon Mayer Sugar and Spike, which is a great thing.
It is. We are, for our radio audience, we are adding JD Calderon. JD, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, guys?
Good. Give us just a moment. Andrew, I think, is just about to go.
Yeah, I have to take off. I've got some deadlines. I'm also one of the other things I'm also working on is Dan Parent and Fernando Ruiz's Die Kitty Die, and I'm doing some fashion pinups for that right now. So I have to, I have the, oh so sad task of having to draw, cute girl in cute outfits.
Yeah.
I've got the steampunk themed page I'm working on upstairs. So I have to get back to that.
It's a rough job.
I encourage everybody to go check out their Die Kitty Die stuff as well. I'm working on the fourth series. They've been doing this through Kickstarter, and they've been a huge influence on how I've been running my Kickstarter because their Kickstarters have done fantastically, and they've been willing to spend time talking to me. So I tell me how they ran theirs and have been full of advice. So yeah, I'm hoping everyone will check out their Die Kitty Die stuff as well. I'm inking much of the fourth series. I'm contributing some artwork for it. And then now, because of watching what they've been able to do through 4 Kickstarters with Die Kitty Die, I'm finally doing my own The Adventures of Simone and Ajax to bring them back after 10 years, because this is their 30th anniversary, and so it seems like a good time to bring them back and bring some fun, some adventures. So once again, it's pepoy.com, PEPOY.com, SimoneandAjax.com, or just go look for them on Kickstarter. The short link is bit.ly/Simone and Ajax. And we got 7 days to go. I appreciate anybody, if you want to contribute or even just spread the word, even if you don't want to back it, but you have a friend who you think would love it, that these kinds of comics, just please let them know, and I'll be very grateful. So,
fantastic.
As always, Randy and everybody, I really appreciate you having me here, and
No problem.
Maybe you'll see me again before this is all over.
Andrew, you're always welcome on here. For everybody out there, it's on Kickstarter. That's Simone and Ajax. It's a new 128-page collection by Andrew Peepoy. Check it out. Give it a look. That's got 312 backers with 7 days to go.
No, I see. Yes. Who was it who just a minute ago said he had to go back it? So
that's probably Joe. We
That's
just
me.
added him to the chat.
oh,
Hey,
hi,
Joe.
Joe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Because we're edging closer to the we just met the 23,000 stretch goal, and we're edging toward the 26,000 stretch goal. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that somehow in the next 7 days I'm going to need to announce what the $30,000 stretch goal is.
Let's hope so. Yeah,
I'm hoping.
it's awesome.
So once again, thanks to everybody for backing it, and thank you guys for getting the word out there.
Andrew, again, thanks for being on.
And
Deeply
hopefully one of these
appreciate
days you can have me on when I'm not rambling incessantly about my Kickstarter, and I can talk other comics.
it. You're welcome on anytime.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Andrew, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
I should have asked that.
Oh, you can ask something. I'm still here. What
Okay, I was
Still,
gonna-
he almost left. He had his
I
hand.
was reaching for the
Yep.
button, but I'm still
Oh,
here.
I was saying when you reach 30,000, you have to take us all out to lunch. It's
That'll take care of a good chunk of the profit.
we eat cheap. We eat cheap.
Mhm.
We eat cheap. All right, Andrew. You have a good night.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate
Andrew,
you having
take
me.
care.
See you later.
Have a
We'll
good
see you. Appreciate it. No idea what the radio numbers are. I'm not even going to ask because you can't get up off your chair, right?
I can't get off the sofa.
Okay, no big deal.
This is what's come of me. Look at me, laying here, like I got some
At
type of.
least you're talking. and
At
you're-
least you're talking. Yes.
Today, you know what I did this morning, and none of the family got the joke. I sat here this morning and wailed, "Unclean, unclean," and not a single one of them got the joke. That's how you know you're old. But but is leprosy really a joke? I guess not. Yeah.
No joking, man.
Oh, it's just like I said in the chat, right there. To quote Black Panther, as you can see, I am not dead, nor have I conceived.
I did not yield, not yet. Although I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest about that movie. T'Challa is a brave man, because I have never returned to an ass kicking. Like, it took one time. There was this kid named Anthony in school. Anthony was this big barrel chest kid. I don't know what his parents was feeding him. They probably had that Focus Hope food, the steroids and shit. Anyway, though, he was the big, like, nugget head ass kid. Like, he had a peanut shaped head. Anyway,
Okay.
he broke my favorite pencil, and I thought, damn, I'd have had enough now. Keep in mind, I've always been short, but I thought today I'm gonna whoop Anthony's ass. And after Anthony finished using me for a squeegee, because he whooped my ass pretty good. I mean, he threw me all over the school hallway. I remember the ass open. I never returned. So the fact that T'Challa went back, say he didn't yield, you got threw off a waterfall. You yielded. I'd have gave him, and I can't swim, so I'm really going. Anyway.
Brandon says if we have to do it, we will be keeping Varian Grant around like one of those Simpson heads.
Yeah, I'll just record a bunch of like stuff, and you guys just clip it in.
Yeah,
just drop it in this, because this is something I can say. Like, I don't know what's some.
You could say this.
What the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
Yeah. Because apparently something's very wrong, guys. I don't know if you heard the question. I don't have graphics tonight, but I can pull this question up on my tablet. But one of the questions was, and this was from Cliff, and Cliff wanted to know How do you handle when a person commissions you for a piece, turns around, gets that piece expertly inked, colored, and then makes it the cover for their book? Look, I get it, because technically people might give prices. Like if I ask Randy to do a piece for me, he might ask, well, what's it for? Where's my original character, or where is it going to be used at? But not everybody asks that question. So I could get a piece from Randy and throw it on my book and say, hey, I got a Randy Zimmerman cover, but he only charged me a commission price. What he would charge someone who's doing a commission. That might wrinkle Randy's shirt a bit. Fair?
Probably not. Well, from you, no. But anybody else, yeah. You bring me a printout that you made at home off a picture I did online, I might get a little hot. Yeah. And want me to sign it. Hey, I copied. I just printed this off of your Facebook page.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe? You flipping tables?
No. Well, no, because commissions, and I guess this is the way that I look at commissions, unless I actually sign some type of contract where I gave my rights away, I'm just thinking that the artwork is going to be throwaway anyway. If they use it for a cover, it's like, as long as you give me credit for it, I'm okay with it.
That's cool. And then let's go to the true heart of greed, live from New York.
Live from New York, it's JD Calderon.
Exactly. Look, if I know, because I'm not an artist, but I commission people all the time, and I let them know. I was like, look, I'm gonna get this piece and I'm gonna use it everywhere. And I let them know. I was like, look, I'm gonna use it as much as I can. You understand? But if things work out, I'm gonna give you more money. I'm gonna commission you for more stuff. I'm gonna pay your rate. You understand? Yeah. I'm gonna pay your rate, and I'm gonna get more stuff from you. And not only that, I'm gonna suggest other people come to you. Because if they ask me who you are, I'm gonna point them your way. I've already done that for a couple of artists. So
it really, he's treading on the bad side of ethics there for using the thing as a cover. Mm-hmm. I mean, getting it professionally inked and professionally colored, that's one thing, just for your personal enjoyment. But getting it and then putting it on a cover and only paying a commission price to the artist, that needs to contact the artist and pay him, come to some sort of an agreement.
At least let them know.
His commission
At least
page,
let them know. You have to let them know.
Let them know. They might never get a dime from you, but if you let them know, hell, maybe they might even. Oh, I remember I did this piece. Hell, I don't have any work coming out for the next 2 months. I'll do this up on my Twitter. Now all of a sudden you're getting don't be afraid. Just reach back out and tell the artist, hey, I want to use this as a cover. I got him. I'm a lot like JD. I got a Mike Grell picture of my character, and I'm like, I need to get this inked and colored immediately, but it can't be inked by just anyone. It has to be inked by a professional, and I can't wait. I thought about trying. I'm never going to ink the original.
No, and I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about trying to ink it myself, and then I'm like, I'm not worthy. And then Barbara Kaelberg, she's been busy, so I can't commission her to do it. But I think that would be great. Anyway. So you guys are all in agreement then. No fights there. What does the chat think, Randy? Nothing.
Chat says nothing. No. Jason Moore is still boasting about the Sugar and Spike page, though. He says he would tell us the price that he got for it, but we'd all be mad at him. Hello.
There's never been a Sugar and Spike. Never mind.
We're already jealous, Jason. It's okay. You don't have to rub it in.
But also, you might want to also send that artist some comp copies too.
Mm-hmm.
That too, yeah. And remember, there's no publicity like good publicity, and having him on the cover or them or that artist on the cover, and having them promote your book is just going to get you better visibility, as opposed to the artist going, yeah, I sat and did a convention sketch in 10 minutes for this guy, and he turned it into a freaking cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you want to be looked at, buddy?
And so on the heels of that question comes another. Okay. And this is going to get some people upset, but you guys tell me what you think. Okay. So this is kind of bizarre. This is from Phil, and this is a new Phil that hasn't wrote in before, and he wanted to know if he had. Phil, I should start by saying no one here is past the bar. I don't think. JD's closest, probably.
Stitch Swag is waving. He's probably waving at the Indie Princess.
No one is a lawyer, so any legal advice we give you, go check with a lawyer. But the problem with this book is that the book is done. Was wrote by this gentleman's girlfriend, was drawn by him, but created by another person. So basically, it's the kind of situation where I got an idea, Randy's going to draw it, JD's going to write it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm the money man. I'm paying you guys. Of course, that never happens. There's always a deal, right? Well, the problem is the guy is printing the book now, selling it, but he's put everything in the book. He is paying them like per unit. Every time he sells a book, he pays them. But there's stuff in the book they don't want. Like he printed the script at the end of the book. He printed unused art, unused designs. The artist's complaint is that this guy didn't pay for that. That wasn't supposed to be published. And he has stopped accepting the PayPal deposits as hope that this will allow the artist, make the artist stop selling the book. I know that works in some businesses. You can stop cashing checks and they can't hold you to the contract. But I don't think that works here.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Who's reddest? I can't see the screen. I can't. Is anybody?
And again,
I'm just trying to understand the flow of how everything worked here, because now you went from the person who was controlling the money not being the one that's actually printing the book. It was the artist that was printing the book. And I was like, wait a second, how did it jump from there to there? It's like,
I may explain that incorrectly. It might have been my poor description of it. The guy who created the book is printing it.
Okay.
The artist and his girlfriend, who's the writer, were paid. And they've been paid well. They don't have a problem with what everything else they're in agreement with, except for the fact that he used contents that that they didn't approve of, and they don't want out there. So they've ceased accepting PayPal deposits from him, as in hopes that that's going to make him stop selling the book. And I don't think that's going to work.
Did they sign a work for hire contract? Because if they did, they signed all their rights away. More likely than not.
They did sign a work for hire.
Yep.
They got nothing coming to them.
Yeah.
Right.
If the guy paid for the production drawings, technically he owns it. He can print, but again, that's a matter of ethics. The artist should have gotten a heads up, and this is going to be in there, and it's going to be great because it shows the evolution of the character and shows you what you started with and what we ended up with, and the journey that it took, and it's just all part of being transparent for the fans.
Possession,
possession. Well, ownership, really.
Ownership,
right.
Yeah.
Because technically he would own those drawings if he paid him to do production work.
Yeah, I mean, I started I've talked about this before. I started off in 91, 92, and I had my old partners because we were all partners back then, myself and all these different artists. I work with I have like 6-7 people. The only one I still have constant contact with is my wife, Daphne, obviously. But one guy, I wanted to do a spin-off series off of one of the books. And the first thing I did was I reached out to the guy and I said to my artist, and I said, yo, listen, can I use this? Because we haven't worked together in like 10 years, 15 years. He was like, yeah, good. You understand? But I wouldn't have moved forward without his permission.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just out of common courtesy.
Yeah.
I mean, most artists want their work seen. They're not going to want you to, I have had artists tell me, oh, please don't print that. And I've had that happen.
Daphne Lage says, if they don't want their money, I'll take it.
That's what I was laughing about.
Lola said she will too. She take the money as well. So
I'll take it. We'll take it.
Exactly. We'll take it a cut.
Yeah, man. You don't want it. You want to. Was it Alan Moore to accept any of his checks? So
yeah,
we'll take them.
It sends it to the artist. Yeah.
Which is that's ethical. That's ethical. I don't, I don't want the money sent to the artist.
Stench Whackbacker wants you to know he plays baseball. It just represents the AAA crowd. He also says a good evening to you all. Good evening, Stench. Thanks for listening.
Good evening. I wanted to ask you, Randy. Little news in our
little news
in our independent world.
Little news.
Little news.
Little tiny news.
Little tiny news. It barely
a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
Is it something that we should say about?
Well, no. What we're gonna say though is that that's what happens. And the words of 7-year-old Varian watching this kid who chased him home fall. That's what you get. So, yeah, I got a couple of choice comments about the mothers too. Anyway, no, but
maybe we should do a tap dance special.
in our world, or something else did happen.
See if they can take that out of context.
I don't know if you seen this, Randy. I heard about it. There is a printer who is, and I can't say the name because I did reach out to the printer. They haven't reached back. They haven't told me anything yet. I just reached out today though, so I'm probably not gonna hear anything maybe till Thursday. But they want to offer a subscription plan for your printing.
Dead silence.
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah,
I was trying to do that. The Rock raise up eyebrow like. What?
You're gonna pay every month, and you can print however many books you need to print. But there is a maximum, so you can only print like. I think it's like they do it by title that you have. So like there are limits to it. It's not like unlimited. That would be nice, but it's not. Anybody interested in anything like that? Anybody? Is that something that you guys would ever utilize? I mean, I could do it for like group based stuff.
No. If you were a company, if you had a dozen titles or so that you print on demand, that might be fun. But
I mean, that's like you have to do like a show every month or two or three shows a month to really capitalize off of something like that.
Yeah, depending on what that monthly price is. I mean,
right. But also, you're gonna have people, right? They're gonna say, "Well, I'm paying X amount. I can get X amount every month, right?" So every month they're just gonna get X amount, whether they're selling them or not. They'll just, backstock.
Yeah.
Right.
And if the printer's smart, he'll just print them off more than just keep them in the bag. Just keep sitting.
Well, and if this is money that the printer already has, also their job might not be first in line.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in need of something, especially in a hurry, well, I paid a subscription. I got a show to do this weekend. I'm calling you on a Thursday. I'm leaving tomorrow. Well, I'm in the middle of 10,000 book order. You're going to have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I paid. Well, you didn't pay for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pitfalls that could happen with this. I can just see. I can see it becoming little problems all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about them on the show very badly too.
People will write us and tell us their problems as they do, and we'll address them as they come along, because our feedback is always better because of their setback.
What are you gonna say, JD?
No, I was just gonna say, just to go along with what Randy's saying, if they have that one person that wants it by Friday, right? It's not gonna be just one person. You're gonna have 30 people doing that. You're gonna have 40, 50 people. They got to list like 500 people off. Forget about it.
Yeah. And then what are they going to do? Drop everything in order to help their subscription service? I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm eager to see how it's going to work. Hell, I'll even think about trying it if the price is right. But the price and the
Show me like.
because imagine though, people will be cheap. They'll try to get in on the group. Hey man,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yep.
yeah. Let's get some comics printed, man. Let's do this.
Variant will take the hit, so we don't have to.
I see. Yeah, that's what happens.
That is usually what happens.
Yeah, that's been a trend. That's been a trend since my first apartment. That's been let's all get an apartment together. Sweet. Yeah, Variant, just sign your name. Okay. Hey, wait a minute. You guys aren't moving.
Hey, landlord, where's Barry? Where's the money?
It was. I let them take it after a while. I take it out my check. I didn't even want to see it. If they did that to more places, I'd be happier. Like my old comic store, they get to take the money before I get there, so I don't have to see it. It's even better because if my wife sees it, then I get yelled at. You spend how much? What's the highest comic book bill you ever had, Randy?
Oh man.
He's a retailer.
Well, I was a retailer. As a retailer, I freaked out when I had my own store. I freaked out by when we had shut the store down. We were still going to get one more shipment from Big Rapids Comics. That was or Big Rapids Distributors. This was before there was so many different distributors. There was one distributor on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, one in the Midwest called Big Rapids. That was out of Big Rapids, Michigan. And I was so worried because I saw the list of books that were coming in. It was going to be Conan this is how old this was. Conan number 100 was in that list. There was a couple of oddball independents that were in that list. I'm freaking and like going, man, I don't even know how we're going to cover this bill. So when it came in, yes, it was a really high bill. It was $100. But what's every retailer right now slapping their knee, going $100? Shit, that's pocket change for me. But yeah, we barely made that bill. But this was back when comics were a quarter.
But like when you go to the store, what's been your personal bill? What's your personal highest bill?
When I worked in a store,
when you're shopping?
No. Oh, I was going to say another purchase. I used to sell books with Motor City, so I've seen quite a few high volume books come and go. So, personally, I don't know. It's difficult to say because I've bought collections and traded for collections, and retail shop. There's been where I usually get my comics. I pick it up maybe once every other month or once every. Sometimes it gets to be 3 or 4 months, and it gets to be pretty high, a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
But at a retail shop, yeah. Plus, the wife is an avid reader, and I met her when I was retailing.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
She used to buy one of every superhero book, plus everything out of Vertigo. So and read them constant. Well, there wasn't as many out there as there was now. She kind of quit after Heroes Reborn when everything went and she stopped.
There was a point before I met my wife that I was like up to like anywhere between $60 and $80 a week, and then I think when I met her, it got a little worse.
The highest one was 120.
120 was the highest
in 1 week.
Yeah, that was 1 week, and it was like, yep, okay, I have a problem. I'm gonna stop. And you know what's weird? You spend $120 in a comic shop, and the bag keeps getting smaller.
Yeah.
Where are you going to?
Because the cover prices keep getting bigger. But
yeah,
I've paid a couple $100 for a box set before. I bought a box set of it was Star Wars, the Star Wars comic strips that Williamson did. That was signed by I think it was Goodwin and Williamson both. Wow. Signed and numbered. That was a nice set.
Yeah, I would say how much I would spend, but Daphne's listening.
Yeah, you don't want to admit that.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this you put in the private chat? Said credit card.
Probably read. I usually look through all the books that Monica buys. Because I was constantly going, "Why are you buying this Xeno shit? What's the Xeno scope? You know the circle template era is over. Come on." Anyway,
tonight's show is sponsored in part by
Remind everybody that opinions expressed here are not necessarily those of everybody at Indie Volt. Snitz, Stench is in the green room. Shall we kick him?
Sure. No, bring him back. See what to say.
We're gonna bring you in. Stench, how are you?
Hi guys.
For comics, absolutely adorable. Really?
Yeah, $100 for that was the week's box.
So you're in the clear, JD.
No, she's talking about my bill.
We were sweating it. Oh, your bill? Yeah. That's why we have separate accounts, and that's very smart. I have separate accounts. Yeah, I have a business account that I buy the majority of my purchases through. Yeah.
Yeah, and an American Express as well.
No. I don't deal in credit cards.
You see, well, yeah, it's the problem with credit cards is that they made them, and I like using them. And
problem with credit cards is you have to pay them.
Yeah, it's like free money. It's vapor cash.
Not free. It's not free.
It's vapor cash.
Yeah,
it's ever free.
It's the Whippy syndrome.
Oh yeah, you get out there and you realize I had to pay for
Tuesday gonna come.
For our radio listeners out there who can't see us, Stench has an icon while his camera is off of the fantastic Bill Waterston, the creator and artist on Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, childhood favorite.
There we go. And still timeless. One of those rare comic strips that you can read 30 years, literally 30 years after it was produced, and it's just as important today as it was then.
Definitely. Evergreen stuff.
Yeah. Very evergreen.
You said documentary, was it Searching for Mr. Waterston?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good documentary. And this guy goes to his hometown and gets he donated a lot of those originals to his local library.
Signed.
Yeah, signed. It's like
people kept stealing it, so they got to reject him.
Yeah. I saw the yearbook he did come up on his high school yearbook. Came up on Antiques Roadshow. And that along with a couple of original drawings. And the guy was drooling. The appraiser was drooling all over it because his work doesn't get out very often.
Yeah.
Really now?
You know, I didn't know why he had never signed any commercial deals. So like all the Calvin and Hobbes stuff we usually see is like all counterfeit.
It's very pirated. Yeah. Well, that's the joy of having your own control over your IP is you can say yes or no. And Bill just wants to say no. That's all.
Yeah, the only better ones that they can sell it legitimately is University Press.
Yeah.
So he must have like a great deal with them.
Well, that was a syndicate. That was a syndicator.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like, would you, if you do that, do you expect your kids to get older and make a mockery of it and start selling everything? Screw it. We need, Calvin.
I don't know if he's got kids or not, but I would imagine he's got it in his will exactly how he wants that IP to be treated, especially considering how he's treated it up until now.
I don't know. I think he'll do something wacky. I think he'll put it into the public domain.
Back when I was doing Flint Comics, I asked Universal Syndicate if I could carry the strip. They told me flat out no. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me run any kind of reprint rights. He says that Bill reserves North American rights solely for the collections. That's all he allows. But if I was over in Europe, I could. They still run it daily over there because it's evergreen. They just keep rerunning it.
Yeah, like the copies that are around my place, they're like non-American. Yeah, for your information, I'm in Europe, so
sweet. Where in Europe?
I'll give you a guess.
Germany.
Don't leave that up to us. We'll never know. We'll be pulling out. We'll be pulling out world atlases and still be wrong.
Oh, okay. The Northern Way.
The Northern Way.
Yeah.
Norway.
That's correct.
Norway.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing odd hours right now. Just try to kill time.
I took a virtual train trip to Norway last week.
There we are. I told you to do that. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Love doing that.
Yeah.
The wife comes in and says, what are you watching? I'm watching this tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, minute by minute. Is that
Oh,
what you
yeah.
mean?
They put a camera at the front of the train and they record the entire train trip. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Donbus track. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I'm just I got caught up in it. I think I sat on that train for like an hour and a half.
You just sit there and
Yeah.
stare at it and go, I'm on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call retirement programs around these blocks. Everyone is tuning around to the national broadcaster and just watching minute by minute of either the ferries or the trains or whatever, just passing hours.
Mhm. So I have a question for you. In Norway, is there a large independent comic book scene there?
If you're in the capital, but outside of the capital, you can have a really hard time to get around for indies. Most of the success, I think, chucks up to being online and having an online presence, but it falls on hard times right now. I heard like the major one, Yippee, one of the big indie publishers. They had to cut their anthology, which had been going on for 25 years strong, because they couldn't get funding. That's sort of like the way that they can guarantee still continuing publishing and all that stuff through grants. And they couldn't secure it anymore from the cultural from the cultural ministry.
The cultural ministry just decided to tighten their purse strings and say no to the publisher, or what?
I guess so. Maybe they weren't keen on getting homegrown productions out to the world. I mean, it could have hugely benefited them, but it was local. Yeah. It was just purely local, like in Norwegian. So it didn't attract like a big market. If they were to do it on a grander scale, they'll have to translate it and sell it as a international sort of deal. Mm-hmm. But Yippee is mostly famous for doing Norwegian comics. But it's a awkward scene. Definitely.
What would you say the biggest homegrown property is over there?
I'll be in the strips, I think. So you got two huge strip series. You got Pondus, and then you got Nemi. Nemi being running 30 years right now, I think. Created by Lisa Mira. And it's just grown up life through Goth girls' lens of the world. Most of these things are syndicated through magazines, so they'll add on imports from other countries, in particular the US. So Nemi showcases a lot of other American strips that they've been securing licenses for. But before, there was a time that they were in deals with Vertigo and had Fables and all that stuff. Yeah, it was cool. Mm-hmm. But nowadays it's just strips.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what the circulation was in it?
Do you mean back then?
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Give me 30 to 40,000.
Oh wow!
Still, over here, that's a successful American comic anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the flagship comic is basically Donald Duck, but it's a sort of an international affair in that they got the Italian artists and the Belgian artists and Danish people doing it, and a few homebrew authors, both in script and art. But they've been dwindling in their own circulation. I think they're 45,000 now in per annual. In that they gracefully slow down. Mm-hmm. They've been doing so for I would say 15 years, 2005, 2006. That's when the turn came around. Prior to that, they were selling in the hundreds of thousands of copies. but that
Yeah.
also it also shows like the market not being a viable like an attractive sort of affair. We have Marvel comics, translated ones at that, selling out here. Any like 80s and 90s. That's when they got like McFarlane runs and all that stuff. It was really hot property.
Yeah.
But I guess the publishers didn't want to have anything to do with them because of either licensing costs or something that was falling on the wayside.
They probably
So-
got greedy. Marvel probably got greedy and kept jacking up their licensing rates.
Oh yeah, it could probably be that. But we're not like exclusively tied to the US. We got Franco-Belgian comics up the ass, and then we got like Lee Falk and all that stuff, and Cats the Hammer Kids, and
Yeah.
No,
The standard classic comic strips, right? Yeah.
yeah, most part like long-running or well-known series.
Yeah.
yeah. Now the anthologies, are they like a thick book like the Japanese when they produce like one of those giant-sized books? You have like a bunch of different strips in it.
Let me have a quick look at the publisher for a moment, because they got the numbers on that one.
You know,
I would assume that it was a around 200 pages.
Okay.
yeah, I was forget who I was talking to, Randy, but they told me that the Phantom is really big in the Netherlands.
Yeah, the Phantom's really big anywhere but here.
Yeah,
Yeah, and especially Australia. The Australians just love the character for some reason.
128
Yeah.
is the correct number. That was the last anthology.
And they came out monthly?
They came out bi-yearly or yearly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is sort of like to build build a body of work, and at the same time these authors do their own projects as well.
Sure.
There was like this one guy called Berry-Lack, who was an immigrant, and he was like, he had to deal with Drawn and Quarterly to do a book called Sad Boy, but Sad Boy wasn't picked up by Drawn and Quarterly because Berry-Lack had said some transphobic stuff, but Yippee went on to publish it anyway because they wanted more comics. They didn't give a shit. What about comics?
you know that's the way it used to be, and all of a sudden now they can pull back on your Twitter from 15 years ago, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't wear an internet condom 10 years ago.
I do know that with now, do you have anything you're working on? Have you worked on any books?
Me personally, oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff just lying about. I just completed the 24-hour comic challenge this last weekend, so I made it. So
The what now? The what now?
the 24-hour comic.
Oh, 24-hour comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I clocked in 6 hours prior to the deadline.
How many pages?
24.
Nice.
Cool.
But I cheated with a lot of with a lot of full bleeds and all that stuff. But it was for good cause. I would say that if I were to do it again, I would probably done it a little bit differently. But it was a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has a 24-hour comic that they haven't cheated, that finished.
You almost have to in order to do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll cut you off.
Figure out some sort of outs here and there.
Yeah.
So are you a regular? Are you a regular contributor? Are you getting published someplace on a regular basis?
No. I am barely starting stuff up right
Gotcha.
now because I'm trying to make my transition from the university over to comics.
Okay.
Either part or full time, and I'm in the AAA server, the server with Marshmake Comics and Russ Leach, Comic Book Black Belt.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'm sort of there hanging around, trying to develop myself and networking most of the time. And I'm planning on launching a project called Bone Meal, which is just a strip comic about skeletons, sort of just absurd, surrealist type
Cool.
of deal. I just really like the idea of like you guys read Mackey's by Donnie Millionaire?
Nah.
No, can't say that we have.
Cowboy Hank.
Nope.
Oh
Sorry.
man. Oh,
The indie world is it's massive.
It is.
Yeah.
The indie world is
Massive.
I thought that these were established names like for like small press and all that stuff, but apparently not. It must be my comics tastes.
Everybody
right.
runs different.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nobody reads what I read. They all look at me funny. Why are you reading that?
And it's only taken on YouTube and until recently for a lot of us to start connecting together, especially with the beer bug and all of a sudden now we're talking to each other and doing podcasts. So
Right.
There's
that's how you probably found us through Russ though, didn't you, Russ Leach?
no, I heard it through name drops primarily here and there.
You see, Randy, we are citizens of the world. And you see, Randy, we're clearly expanding. Clearly.
Really expanding. Yes. Yes, sir. I ever tell you about the time? Yes.
Once again, once I get rich, I'm going to say things like verily.
We need to make a world tour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
An audience of one working.
My problem is, hey, Randy, this year says our next stop is Calcutta.
Exactly.
We have fans in Calcutta. I'm not sure we should go.
Fans everywhere.
Exactly.
And you never know, Varian. You might have been watching one of those Norwegian train videos and passed by us.
Yeah.
Unlikely. I'm living too far in the neck of the woods to be even spotted, so don't even try, man.
He's like, I wouldn't be caught dead on that train, and it looked cool. I'm taking all these virtual tours, and they got virtual rides. I think I told Randy about it. They walked through Universal Studios their Halloween season, and they have Arkham Asylum Funhouse. The Joker and Harley and a couple other characters are walking through there, and they'll jump out and scare you, like Scarecrow, which looks cool because it's from the Arkham Asylum video game. So he's got the syringes for fingers, and he looks really cool. And I'm like, oh man, I would love to walk through that. And then out of the left, experience ruined, and I would have said it had I been there. Here comes Cobblepot's rotund ass. So I'm like, hey, want to join my gang? You want to join my gang? And he's in Arkham City Blues, and I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, you don't belong here. And that's what I would have stopped the actor and saying, what are you doing here? You go to Blackgate. You don't go to Arkham. You're not criminally insane. Unless he's got a good ass lawyer that got him. But I mean, I don't want to go to Arkham. Send me to Black anyway. So yeah, the things I think about at night. But watching the video.
It's the drugs. It's the drugs.
It's the drugs. It really is.
That's how you know he's a geek.
Yeah.
You're making me think about that Batman story about the Joker figuring out how much he actually likes Selena Kyle.
Yeah. Have you seen?
I've never been to Arkham. You have to, or you always allow her to get away.
She is. I know is she currently pregnant right now with his baby? Yeah, I think it's the current storyline.
Oh, you're reading the current storyline?
What the fuck?
They're rewriting it again. They rewriting it again.
Yeah, like she's pregnant now. Like it's his.
It's like
no. They have done that before. That's the thing that I'm saying. They redoing it again. They rewriting it again.
Is King still on the book?
I think Tom King is off of it finally, isn't he?
I don't know, man. I stopped collecting Batman.
I think Tom King is off the book now. He's finally cut the fruits enough.
Isn't that Brian Bendis? No, just kidding.
Oh no! Please don't.
Oh, now my dirty little secret is I like Bendis. It's my dirty secret. But I haven't read
everything that he does.
I haven't read
other books he doesn't.
I haven't read anything he has since Iron Man #1 with. Yeah. Oops.
You're not a dish. You're a man.
But I like Bendis for all his personal stuff. Like I like Powers when he was doing that.
Mhm.
I thought that was really good.
That's Powers was one I read pretty late. I hate that I didn't, get into it a little bit earlier. But, well.
My only experience with Powers was with the book that I bought that has like the full scripting from beginning to end that people use to look at how you do a script and which the things that you can learn from him by reading his script. No, I'm serious.
No, I'm sure you are. That's why I'm laughing.
Wait, is that
sorry.
a DC book?
I'm sorry.
Like DC writing scripts. I think that's the book or something.
I think Randy's about to tell him to burn that book.
This is the book right here.
I got a book too.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just as important.
Yeah, that's even more important. But it's just weird that people told me it's like, yeah, go ahead. It's like read this. I'm like looking through it. It's like I'm literally reading the full beginning to end of the whole Powers series in this book. He doesn't teach you how to write. It's just like you're just reading the.
You're just absorbing it. I've got a character that does that. You just cast a spell over the book and get all of the knowledge out of it.
Yeah.
Just.
Wait, did Don crack open your head and insert the book?
Well, you need a key for that.
Yeah.
Oh. we're playing lock and key rules, aren't we?
You need a key for that.
I would probably take. I read Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics, and I'm like, I need to get the rest of Scott McCloud's books, and it was some older guy with like,
No. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Right there. You're good.
yeah,
You're good.
yeah, Understanding
Believe me.
Comics. That's it.
When I tell you, understanding comics, you're good.
After that, he told me don't buy any other books. It's okay. It was a reimagining and is it
Reinventing.
Reinventing comics.
Skip reinventing. I recommend only. I recommend only understanding.
Should read. Maybe-
Understanding and making. Those are the
don't-
only books.
Don't take my word for it. Pick them up. Pick them up. Read them. Yeah.
And try to apply them. That's the real trick. Apply them.
Apply them.
The best book pickup I ever made.
There you go.
Hell yeah!
What is it? I
Now
can't
we're
see it.
talking.
Will Eisner's graphic storytelling and visual narrative.
Oh, it was.
Well, son, I got a first print of that book that Eisner signed.
I was here.
And it wasn't even officially printed. Eclipse Comics printed it as an Eclipse book.
Ooh,
First print.
hot.
I don't know. If
I can go get it, but it's out in my storage shed in a Tupperware tub. That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. Don't worry about it. You're not going to get it.
I know.
The shelved.
I know. I know. You know, a lot of you guys. You know, he's untouchable. He's untouchable. But I have it on good authority that.
Not that good.
Well, I think he's untouchable. My Mike Turner box came, by the way, right now.
He got his door hangers.
I got my door hangers.
Got your door hangers.
They-
Awesome.
Impressive.
Let me
That's a
tell you,
stretch goal. Door hangers.
they feel so weird.
I'm sure they do.
Like, and it's not like I'm not medicated when they feel weird. It's just like they
feel so weird.
They feel weird. It's like
I like them. I like them.
Now the question is, where are you hanging them that they feel weird?
Well, I haven't hanging them up. I haven't hung them up anywhere. But I did put the magnets on the refrigerator, and I got the sketchbook over there. And you said what?
Did you?
Yeah, Lola, they're on the refrigerator.
Don't put them on your computer.
They're gonna disappear.
They're booby girls, and I figured my son needs to see that every morning before he opens it to get the milk out the refrigerator. He needs to see Fathom you know, like wet bursting out the water. Like man of me, he'll start eating 2 bowls of cereal in the morning.
They're gonna disappear like Mad Max.
Because that's what he sees, 2 bowls.
Yeah, he'll be like, I need 2 bowls of cereal now, man. I need to eat 2 bowls.
It's like the opening of the Clockwork Orange, man.
Yeah, you know, my kids look. He won't be a boob person. Boobs are gonna be synonymous with discipline, and so he's gonna be like, nah. I know how Lola treats me. I'm not. You think Lola's kid's gonna be? No, I'm like, nope. I'm gonna be a neck man or something.
An ass man.
Yeah, mommy hat man. I'm all right.
Varian knows he's an ass man because every time he says something, Krista looks at him and says, "You're an ass man."
No, I can't say that. I can't say that on air.
No.
This is a coffee joke, but I can't say it online.
We're TVMA DLSV.
Yeah, but
we've talked about California water omelets.
Oh God!
What?
Oh
no, that is something unfamiliar to me.
Go back to last Tuesday's show. You can pick that up on YouTube. All of our video podcasts are archived over on YouTube at youtube.com on the IndieVolt channel. So if you go back to last Tuesday, you'll learn about what was it, gorilla milking?
Gorilla milk and
California water omelet.
Water omelets.
Yeah, that's
type it right now. It's there. Just believe me.
Yeah, it's like that in Lemon Party.
I'm just still trying to figure out why would somebody ask that question in the first place.
Wait, Stench.
Yeah,
I got a guy in the green room who wants to ask you a question about your art. Yeah, hang on.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
Oh yeah, definitely, Ethan.
I didn't know her anything. I didn't. It's a surreal thing because I can't see the screen, so I'm turning away from everything. So I got my eyes closed, and so I can. I'm like, wait a minute, is Ethan there? Wait, what's going on?
What? Ooh, no.
Yeah, and I'm medicated, so I'm about to start talking back to Ethan. Like, Ethan, wait.
You're talking back to Ethan now?
Can I get like $3,000, Ethan? That's all I need. Okay, I got this idea. And it's going to be... Oh, I shouldn't stop taking pot shots.
Yes. Yeah. Are there more questions?
There actually was a statement, and this is from...
It's a statement?
Well, it gets more like a statement, yeah. This is from Boy George. Boy George, who asked, he said, so why? What are the chances for a indie comic shop selling all indie books in today's climate?
Slim to none.
I think it depends on the preparation of the owner. If they own the property and they own the building and they already have $10 million in the bank, they'll be fine.
Just like independent record stores, you see them pop up here and there in some of the larger cities. Hopefully they stick around for a while, but I've seen them pop up more and more, where you get little indie shops popping up that specialize not necessarily in Marvel and DC.
Yeah,
I remember, I think it was Ralph that said the best, if you open a comic store, that's the best way to turn a large fortune into a small one.
Yeah.
Right.
And well, a comic shop just sells indie books. What do you guys think about that?
Have I an LCS story you want to sell you? Holy shit. So this guy, he was like a big football star here in Norway. And he figures out that he wants to go and make it big by starting up his own business when it comes to comics. And what just happened naturally, he had to expand because comics didn't sell so well. So he bought merch and all that stuff. But it turns out the real ore was cardboard crack. And since then, it's just been going for Magic the Gathering. Comics are just there for showcasing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a similar issue with Pops. Not Mr. Van Zant, but I mean actual the Pops toys.
Pop says I was looking forward to meeting you guys. What is that? He was meeting us or what?
Yeah, send Pops a link. Pops, there's a link in the chat. Come on in.
There's a link in the chat. You're welcome in.
That's right. Yeah, Grand Rapids officially canceled. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, you mean face to face? Yeah. Is it officially canceled now?
Yes.
I saw a tweet
Yeah.
When did that happen? Today?
today. Yeah.
God, I'm so far behind on the news. Been working on some commercial stuff. So actually, I've been dealing with my equipment all day. It's driving me nuts. I got a big, of course, I get a large commercial order, and all of my equipment starts failing.
I'm clipping that.
That's what she said. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, my equipment is starting to mess with my equipment all day. I got a pretty big. I'm clipping that section.
Got a big job. My equipment fails. That's it.
I got a pretty big, cutter. So we'll call it.
But yeah, all those shirts I had here last week,
Mm-hmm.
I still have them here. Yeah.
The FBI is gonna think.
No, my client right now is probably steaming, out of their ears, so waiting for these shirts. So.
The feds are gonna think the T-shirts is code for like
pizza.
Oh hell no! Screw that.
Your client's probably like, I saw you on that damn show not doing my shirts.
Exactly.
On that show, not doing my shirts. How dare you guys?
Coming into the room right now is Mr. Pops Van Zant. Pops, how you doing, buddy?
Guys, how you doing?
You're doing fine.
I'm feeling ugly.
Are ya? At least you're not bumping uglies. That's all good.
You got the news today too that there's no Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Yeah, man, and it was like that was the one I'm looking forward to the most because it's my best chance of meeting all you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we were gonna do a live broadcast from there, from the show.
Yeah, kind of. I was too.
I was looking forward to it, but no, apparently not now. So.
Yeah.
Well,
another thing to thank Whitmer for. Ding ding.
Marcus said,
don't make me drag my soapbox over here, Randy.
I got a guy, my next door neighbor just stuck a sign out in their yard. It says, "My governor's an idiot." I went, there you go.
There's a bunch of those around us.
I need to get one. I'd put it in my yard.
Yeah, me too.
Mark did say that they are going to, I believe they were going to push people's, like if you want it, your application can go for next year's show.
Mm-hmm.
So
Two next year.
chances are, he said on this show last week that he's actually thinking about doing 2 shows next year.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully
the April show right now is a nail biter already. So we'll see how that goes and what happens in between time.
It's kind of funny because the very first member of the Comic Related Madness, Randy Davis, is somebody that I met at Grand Rapids Comic Con a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like like I said, I was really looking for. I was gonna come on, man. We can get this one in, guys. It's starting to look good. We can get it in. Oh, Whitmer.
Hey, that sounds like a sexual act too. Come on, guys, we can get it in. We can get it in. Oh, Whitmer.
There you go. He cock blocked all of us right there, man.
More ways than one.
I want that clip. Oh, Whitmer.
You can use that anytime you want, man.
You had an interesting 2 weeks. Son got married. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was all good, and all that other stuff's all good too. Because I found that if I don't entertain what they're talking about, and I don't pay attention to it, and I just go on doing what I'm doing, they're all just arguing with each other now. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So,
leave them to their own hole, buddy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Got rid of all of them. Both sides of the whole mess. The people I was trying to help, The people that were trying to make sure they didn't get no help, none of them getting any help now. Don't get
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I smell tea. I smell fresh tea brewing. Yeah, none has been spilled. I don't understand.
I do know one thing, Barry, and I need some more info on Liberty so I can push that, because the concept is what I was trying to do. Is push the concept of getting people's books on retailer shelves.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you. Well, I can't see you. I'm laid up, but when I get better, I will make sure that
you know what I'm saying? It's like that's all I'm trying to do is help people get books on shelves so I can go to my LCS and get y'all's books.
Liberty is something that Variant's been working on for a few years now. So it's not, you know, and it's not going to go. I don't want to say it's not going to go anywhere, but it's not going away. Is what I want to say. And it's just going to sit there and keep growing. It's what's going to happen.
None of it should go away. There shouldn't be people out there trying to sabotage things other people are doing either.
No,
you know, I mean, it was weak. The whole thing was weak. I spent the whole 2 weeks before my son's wedding trying to figure out how to extricate myself from that whole situation. It worked. I'm out. You know, this is probably the last time I'll ever talk about it. You know,
I'm sorry. I'm looking through my Mr. Dictionary and I'm trying to find extricate.
It's like trying to get out of the escape room, bro.
That word.
That's a word. Yeah.
I try not to use language of the dumb. However, my child responds to that a lot better than me actually using words. So I'm like, you know,
hey, do you use the dumb? Is that
the language of the dumb? Yeah. So instead of like, so it's like, hey, I'd be really happy if you clean your room. Now that's highbrow language. Okay. And it doesn't, unfortunately, work for my son.
You do see that.
I say
that's a lot nicer than what my parents would have told me.
Right. So but it's weird because I look at him and say, "Get your little ass in there and clean up that motherfucking room."
Get closer.
All of a sudden, there's movement. I don't understand why I have to use the language of the dumb to get what I want. Yeah, I don't understand it.
But then you
Yeah, then I get, why are you cussing at me? Because it works. Has not cussing at you give me the desired result?
You know, the timeout generation versus the way we grew up. I think we have a whole lot more respect. I think we do have a whole lot more respect for people than the timeout generation.
To this day, I've just developed the stones to disagree with my mother. I'm still not sure. I'll say something and be like, here it comes. Tense up. And she doesn't do anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Randy,
sir,
you've had some dealings with Comic-Cons all over the country.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And this is for all you guys. You get a Comic-Con invite in the mail. Mm-hmm. It says, hey guys, our Comic-Con is back. We're definitely doing it. We've only got a small amount of tables, but we want you to come down. You know, our show attracts they boast over I think they boast over like 40,000 people.
Cool.
And they say this. They say, so we're coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
However, because you know,
COVID,
we've had to raise our prices. So
and limit guest appearances.
Well, not just that.
The amount of people allowed in the building at a time.
Oh yeah, but not just that. Here's what one Comic-Con is going to remain nameless. Is doing. So they've been long. Everyone knows that this particular convention, you can buy a table, but the tables are normally cheap because you're not allowed to accept money.
What?
Yeah, you can't accept money. You basically what happens is, so I come to Joe's table. I say, Joe, I like this piece you got here. How much? And he gives me a price. I then run to a kiosk. I say, hey, I want to pay Joe D. McPhee or whatever his company's name is. You know, like for this piece, he says it's $50. I get him the 50. They give me a coupon. I bring this coupon back to you. I get the coupon to you. You give me the piece. Transaction is complete.
Hold up. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with this right now. We just added 2 or 3 more people into the exchange of things. How does that help?
Yeah. Well, what happens? Oh, it gets better. It gets better because at the end of the weekend, Joe wants his money, right? He's got all these coupons. So now Joe rushes up to the front desk. He's got to trade them in before they close. Okay, he trades them in. He's rubbing his palms together, and then he finds out that he won't get his money today. You'll get your money, and I believe is it 2 weeks. Huh?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, 3 weeks or so, you'll get your money minus what used to be 10%.
Wow.
Now it's minus 20% because of COVID.
And paying for the extra employees to divvy up everybody's coupons with money.
Wait a second. Why would you even exchange for coupons? Because you're trying to eliminate the process of like getting COVID?
Well, no, they've been doing this. They've been doing this because they want their taste of the Artist Alley.
What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this makes my.
That's okay. We had the same reaction the first time we read about this convention.
I don't want to go to cons, man. Fuck that.
I went to a convention.
I'll be that MFer right there.
Yeah.
I'll be that MFer and be like, nope, don't go to the front. I got my Intuit Go payment right here. Where's your card?
You can't do that.
Done. Here you go.
Catch me on a lemon stand down the avenue, man.
Exactly. It's like, no, I want my money. I'm not dealing with that coupon stuff. You're introducing more COVID that way because now that person is getting in contact with more people.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I'll do it better. I'll use that Venmo or whatever the fuck that you do, like digital payment processing.
Exactly.
Keep all the money.
Well,
but I got my cell phone right there. I got my Intuit Go payment card reader. Give me your card. Done. Yep. Here's your book. Here's your.
They never. This is not a COVID measure. They've been doing this since they've been in existence.
This is a greed thing.
It's not right.
Damn greed thing. That's look,
I got it.
You guys know I've done my con for like 7 months now. I don't even like asking people for donations, but gift card, standing dispensary, I'll accept. But you know, I don't even like because of the times. Because of the times, I don't even like asking people for a little donation to upgrade my StreamYard or anything. Just because of COVID, that was why I started doing what I do, was to help people get out of this hole, not to like get my cut or whatever.
We feel bad about doing that here at IndieVolt. That's why we haven't done our potathon.
Yeah.
But we felt that way before the beer bug. So
you know what? You try to help them pull them out the hole, and they pull you right down in there with them.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Since I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Who? Yeah. Well, look, I know I did a show in Boston where they did that exact system. But the thing is, they were doing it to collect Boston sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason they did it, because I guess they had a lot of pressure from the city. But yeah, it took about 3 weeks for us to get. Well, Daphne, it was a Daphne show. It took 3 weeks for her to get her money.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, I hated it. I was just like, no. I was about to walk out. The second I heard it, I was like, go get a refund for the table. We're going home. You know, I was like, screw these people.
So you're the mad spouse at the shows.
Yes.
I see.
I carry the heavy boxes, and I get to be angry. Those are the two things I get to be.
You see, it's the opposite way. I carry the heavy boxes. However, my wife does all the setting up, all the selling.
Guano guy says it is called a con.
There you go.
That's a good point.
Hey, got my money. But yeah, I would imagine if you don't get your money. They're like, oh, we saw it, we lost in the mail. Y'all lost y'all ass in the mail. I'm coming for my money.
Because I'll be like Luke Cage when he went for that $500 for Dr. Doom. Tear up most of that variant. Where's my money, honey?
But 20% now, guys, that's a lot. Plus, I got to pay for the table. Now, granted, the table is very cheap, but again, this is the promoter who just wants a cut. He thinks there's some money in Artist Alley, and I mean, he could be right. I mean, but come on, 20% out of each artist. That's a bit much.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna say though, you know, when you were saying an invitation, if I get an invitation from a convention, I expect to be brought out. You know, what you're talking about is a solicitation. That's what you're getting.
I went to jail for that once.
Okay.
I prefer to be treated like a king and not like small fish, and then there's like shark in the waters. Stop that. No.
Yeah.
Where'd my avatar go?
Where'd your avatar go?
That's what I just did.
that damn James Cameron, he snuck over here and got your avatar.
Yeah.
Gotta make more movies about Smurfs.
Wanna point out Mark Darden's in the chat room. Mark, hello.
Guano guy, there's a link.
You're welcome on here whenever you'd like. Guano guy is currently on Indiegogo. You should go over there and check out that campaign. It's a hilarious book.
Yeah, Guano guy is
and Stin says you can't spell conference without it. Without spelling
There's no conference without it.
We're all gonna go in here and get calm, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I think the first time he brought it up, Randy's term was grab your ankles.
Grab your ankles.
Grab your ankles and prepare yourself.
Now, was this one of the guys that you guys had on last week?
Who?
Is that one of their shows?
What? No.
Oh no.
Those guys are all upstanding guys.
Oh,
yeah, I would have called him out like, how dare you, sir?
Yeah.
Come on my show.
Oh.
And then
pull crap like that. Yeah. They probably wouldn't want to be on our show anyway, because we've already criticized that convention and that particular system as being just a way to get a taste.
Yeah. Now, where are they located?
I can't.
He doesn't want to say Wizard. He doesn't want to say where they're at.
Yeah,
Wizard.
we'll talk after.
He might actually own stock. You know.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, don't ask me that question, Variant. Don't ask me because I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I will never support another one.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that. And it's not Wizard. It is not Wizard. Them shits is delicious.
No, it's not. It's not Wizard. It's not Wizard.
Go to Wizard. Help send my kid to college. Otherwise, he ain't gonna make it.
Someday his stock will actually be worth what he paid for it.
Yeah, so it's not.
Here comes Pops back in the chat, and he still doesn't have it. You should have never left. Should have never left.
Jeez, what's going on here?
Should have invested in Amazon, buddy.
Yeah, I should turn to Amazon. This little company called Google. Something. What is your problem with Wizard, Joe?
What is my problem with Wizard? Let's just say, set the Wayback Machine to 2011.
The Wayback Machine. There we go.
The Wayback Machine. Yeah, Sherman set the Wayback Machine to the year of 2011.
What, to show the way all the black
Wizard
notices?
World Comic Con 2011.
It's Professor Peabody and his boy Sherman.
So going into Wizard World 2011, I was given my booth number and everything. Everything seemed to be copacetic. Get there. Roll into setup. So it's like, go in, it's like, get my registration packet and everything, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a second. My booth number is this. This is what I have, and I showed them the emails and everything where it was confirmed. They moved my booth to somewhere else. So it's like, okay, no big deal, but what was the reason for the movement of the booths and all this other stuff? Nobody could give me an answer. It's like, do you realize that is an inconvenience because we have already did promotions and all this other stuff to get people to come to this area, not this other area. So didn't think too much of it. It's like they at that time didn't think too much of it. We went around, we set up and everything. So unbeknownst to us, they expanded the showroom floor and they told nobody, not even the attendees. So we set up, we're thinking everything was okay, and then all of a sudden we're like looking around. It's like, wait a second, how come this person's not set up, that person's not set up, that person's not set up, that person's not set up in the area that they moved us over to? So not thinking much of it, showroom floor opens, no traffic whatsoever. They had to literally go and make signs to get people to flow back to where we were at because nobody knew that that was part of the show.
Was that Wizard World Chicago?
Yes.
Now, here's the problem. This is how I know Wizard is a weird place, because that was a great show for us.
In 2011?
Yeah, that was 2011. Yeah, we did.
2011 was a bad year, and so that was the year that I'm leaving his name out of it. Took over the whole thing, and then his counterpart, which sits above him, was also there. So he literally came around to where we were at, where all of us was about to get ready to, we was ready to ask for refunds and everything, because we got no foot traffic. We didn't see any foot traffic until late Saturday of the show. Saturday had already left. They had already shut down and left. So pretty much, people who were still there, it was like we, kind of like annex whatever space and everything to try to, expand out to make it seem like we had a bigger presence there, just to kind of like don't want people to think that our area is a dead zone.
Yeah. See, it seems like to me it was 2011 when I went, because I
What company?
it would have been Last Call.
No, we didn't start Last Call in 2012.
Really? That's weird. I mean, it was 2012, but I remember it was a year that it was a year that that people were putting up signs like, "Hey, I'm down here," point little arrows. That was it. Might have been 2012, but we had a great show that year.
That was my worst show with them ever. And this is coming after the fact that the year before, I had a premiere space, and they put all the celebrities up front. So as soon as you walk in, all the people will walk in and see nothing but celebrities. And those premiere booths that publishers like myself had, we were set off and played second fiddle to all these celebrities that they was hyping up. So people would come in and see the celebrities, bypass us altogether to go to RS Alley. They would come back to the celebrities, and they were not stopping in the middle. And we made mention of that. It's like, people like myself, Polito, all of the major players that was in independent publishing, because this was during the time that there was no Marvel, there was no DC, and there was no Image there at Wizard World, because they backed out the year before.
Probably because they didn't like where they were seated. I just want to apologize to Mark. Mark, I'm sorry. The Guano Guy is actually on Kickstarter. So if you jump over to Kickstarter and look up Guano Guy, it's an amazing book, real funny.
Okay, but to finish up everything. So after it was all said and done, convention was over. I brought that guy over. I said, "What can you do to make up for the loss of revenue?" Because again, you have too many angry people over here. What can you do to make up for this? His response is, "Well, we'll give you a discount at one of our other shows." I was like, why am I going to give you more money to make up for lost revenue? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, it would have been different if you would say, "We'll comp you a spot for next year's show," or something to that magnitude. But why would I need to give you more money for a different show at a discount?
Because of my portfolio.
At that point, I wash my hands up. Because that shows me the direction that Wizard World was going to go.
Joe, my portfolio. Okay.
Varian Grant ain't running Wizard World shows though. You just a money man.
That's right.
And you're the one that could come back and tell them, "I want 80% return on my options."
Yeah, I would like that, but they're gonna be like, yeah, we would like that too, Mr. Grant. Watch the triple split route.
Actually, they'd say we can dream too. That's what they'd say.
I joke about having this idea that one day I'm gonna wake up and actually own that company by accident. But the thing is, I hope that they start selling stuff.
That was an accident. That was default. That's what that was called. You own the company by default.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, Mr. Grant, you now own Wizard. Oh crap!
You're the only one with stock left in it. Here we go.
The thing about Wizard World Chicago is that Wizard World Chicago has a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, it does.
And that's because, once they took over Chicago Comic Con, it was already built in for that.
That's exactly.
They're not going to mess that up for anything in the world.
Exactly right. And they have to piss a lot of people off in order to chase off that crowd because we were there every year. So we love that Marriott hotel that in the shape of a T.
Yeah.
That's where Wolfman and Perez went. Hey, Titans needs a headquarters. What should it look like? There it is.
There.
Right
Oh, that's the idea.
Make
Yeah,
it
we
shape
like
of a
that.
T. It'll be great. Yeah.
Right. T for Titan. Yeah, we can work with that.
Weeks. Yeah. Every year, the Quest Lounge. We were there. Yeah, that was a good show. Good times.
Oh,
Stench. We're heading towards the end of the program. Where can folks find you? Maybe,
Nowhere.
Maybe you don't want to be funny. Where can we see your stuff? I want to see your stuff.
You gotta
Sound right either. I want to see the work that you're doing.
Simmer down. I'm not gonna make a social media account just to show you, Randy. Probably later.
Probably
At one
later.
point. Maybe when I revisit a show.
You can threaten us all you want, Stu. It's great talking to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's fun.
Pops.
Hey, it's like this. I want to throw a quick thank you out to Pete Vasquez and Phil Leon for
people who we don't know.
Amazing CromCon 7 for me while I was at my son's.
Yeah.
Those guys killed it. They did a great job. I totally appreciate them backing me up. That's where you can find me, the Comic Related Madness. We're not sure on a date yet for CromCon 8 due to Election Day being that first week in November. And I don't know how volatile people are going to be that first weekend in November. So it may get, we may move it later in the month. I don't know what's happening yet, but
Barry and I are going to hold a special show that evening.
I might have to join you guys in that.
It's gonna be called the Humanity.
And Empire States of Crash and Burn.
Oh, the Humanity.
Oh.
We'll all have large tubs of popcorn in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
As we sit and watch
With a great pumpkin full of candy, man.
or other edibles.
Well, that's part of
mystery meat.
Yeah.
Mystery meat. Always. Joe, where can folks find you?
They could find me on Facebook up under Joe D. McPhee, Instagram at Silbolt, that's SILV as in Victor, BOLT, and on DeviantArt up under Silverbolt 14. And our Kickstarter has 11 days left, and we're in stretch goal territory, so we're still waiting for that one backer to unlock the very first stretch goal, which is a art print, which I could show you if you guys are interested in seeing it.
Stench, that could be you.
I really wish that I could, but I am broke as fuck now. So
let's see the artwork.
That's because you don't show your artwork around, buddy.
Well, this is not mine, but this is the art print that's going to be given away for free.
Blow that up. There we
Everybody.
are. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. It was really nice.
I like
There
it. I like it.
So that's the first of several that will unlock as we hit certain milestones. So this is for the 25th backer milestone here. We're only one person away from that.
Cool. JD, what's up?
So you can find me on Facebook under JD Calderon. You can find me on YouTube under JD Calderon. I currently have an Indiegogo running for the Oswald Chronicles, my book. These are the ones up there now. 3 days left, so go check it out.
3
under
days.
The Oswald Chronicles.
Yep. We really want to thank Andrew Peepoy for popping in earlier this broadcast. He's got a Kickstarter called The Adventures of Simone and Ajax. Just look it up under Simone and Ajax. It's an awesome product, great book. Also, thanks to Mark Darden for being in the chat, and who does Guano Guy, also available on Kickstarter. I am available on Facebook and Twitter under Randy Zim. Oh, I'm on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. I haven't quite started the other fake accounts yet. But, they're coming. And this weekend, I will be performing a wedding at a secret location in Grand Blanc, where we shall have a massive party.
Sweet. I know how that feels.
Okay.
And well, I'll be officiating.
So I didn't do that. I officiated the passing of the liquor a whole bunch, though.
There you go.
I mean, a whole bunch. But, hey, I'll tell you what, when you buy a whole bunch of liquor for a reception, and then all the guests bring moonshine, you come home with a whole bunch of liquor.
And a hell of a hangover the next day, depending
No, I
on
was good.
depending
Everybody
on how that's brewed.
Everybody
What?
else was wiped out. I was good.
Scotty Brandt wants us to know that he loves orange and yellow, and they are both vibrant colors. Thank you, Scotty, for listening in. Deeply appreciate you. We deeply appreciate all of our listeners on Indie Volt Radio, wherever you are. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and we hope you are safe and well. Varian, any last words?
No, you can find me on pretty much all social medias. You can find Indie Volt on YouTube, Instagram. Coming very soon to Parlor, because I know YouTube is going to get mad about our mouths.
Our mouse?
Oh, they're going to get so. Yeah.
What mouse?
Our mouths. Our mouths.
Mouth.
But we're not for kids. We're not for kids. So
Yeah,
why
we're not
would they worry about that?
Our cock holsters. They're going to be very upset about that.
As long as they understand Gorilla Milk and California water omelets, it's all.
How dare you?
Anyway.
Yeah, and you can find Indie Princess. Where can we find you at?
I'm everywhere. I'm
Indie Princess is everywhere.
That's what you say. I'm everywhere.
Princess.
Everywhere.
Just look up Indie Princess, the Indie Princess. You'll find her.
Find you.
I don't know if there will be a Geekgasm tomorrow, guys. I'm pretty busy, and I'm currently taking care of the husband.
We cannot commit.
I cannot commit. I'm sorry.
Cannot commit. Maybe there'll be a Geekgasm, maybe not. Maybe we'll play Hollywood Squares if we can get enough people together.
Yeah.
Get people to send us questions. That would be funny.
What, you going to be Peter Marshall there, Randy?
No, I want to be Paul Lynch.
You make a pretty good Paul Lynch.
I could be, Paul
You
Lynch.
could be Gallagher.
Paul Lynch, yeah. No, I'd probably be, what's his name? The guy that was down in the lower corner. Geez. I can see him, but I can't.
I would think about being Wally Cox.
Wally, well, that was only on. He was only on there for a few years before he ended up passing away. But anyway, hey folks, it's time for us to roll on. You can catch us on Indie Volt Radio. We deeply appreciate you listening at indievolt.com. Indie Volt Radio is available at Google Play, the Streama app, and if you ask Alexa nicely, she might actually play Indie Volt Radio for you. There's Alexa now. Indie Volt is also on Roku, Indie Volt TV on the Roku, with great wrestling programs and movies, and sometimes our own podcast here available for streaming.
Yeah,
and what?
So that's correct. That's correct.
That's correct. We also take on your comments and statements about our programming. We welcome you all. You can address those comments at IndieVolt Live at indievolt.com. Please include IndieVolt in the subject line and keep those emails to 90 words or less so that Varian can type them on the card and we can talk about them when he's feeling better.
That's right. And also, I want to leave you guys with one final image.
Oh, remember, be careful.
Uh-oh.
Keep it within Facebook standards. This better not be porn.
The California water omelet with raisins.
No. No.
Good night, everybody.
In the meantime, take care, everybody. Any more last words? We got to go.
Stay safe.
Stay
Stay
safe.
safe.
So-
Good night.
Good night.
Stay safe. Stay
Stay
safe,
hydrated.
everybody. Where did it go? We never have this thing coordinated. There it is. Here we go. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Be healthy. Talk to you soon. Raisins.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.